Okay, so I'm going to build an animation with 3 layers deep of nested clips of balls rotating around other balls, and we'll have buttons to control the start and stop action of each timeline. Now I've got a file slightly prepared here. I already have my layers in, my background layer, and I've already put in a start and stop text box that says start and stop for each set of buttons. I'll have 3 sets of buttons, a start and a stop button for each. Okay, so I do have a layer designated for my buttons, a layer designated for my animation, and one for my actions. So maybe we'll start with the buttons here. You can actually get built-in buttons in Flash if you go to Window, Common Libraries, Buttons. And I'm going to use the classic button. So if I scroll down here, there's one called Classic Buttons. I'll just move this up here and expand it a bit. And I'm going to open up my library as well. And I'll drag the blue button, the green button, the red button, and the yellow button. So I'll start with the blue button. I'll just drag it across over here. And if I go inside of here, I can see blue. Then I'll drag the green one, and the red one, and the yellow one. Okay, I can close this window now. And if I open up my library here, I can see those 4 buttons. So I'm going to just put my library back in the dock. Okay, so I'll start with the blue button. We'll put that on the stage on the buttons layer. And it's too big right now, so I'm going to resize that with my free transform tool. And then position that. A nice way to actually get the other colored buttons in the exact same size is to start by duplicating this button and then swapping it, because it will retain any changes that have been made to the instance on the stage. So with my Alt key down on the PC, Option key down on the Mac, I can click and drag. And then I'll grab both of those, Alt, click and drag, to make the 6 buttons. Now this one here is the stop. I'm going to swap that out for the red button. So I can go up to my properties, hit the swap button, choose the red one, and as I said, it retains the size and position and so on. For this button, I want this to control the yellow, so I'll highlight that and I'll swap that out for the yellow button. Then again, the red one for the stop. And the last set will be the green. So I'll highlight that, swap that for the green button, and then the last one here, swap that for another red button. Okay, and I guess I'll save my file here. Okay, so all my buttons are in place. Why don't I just continue to work with the buttons? They're all going to need instance names. So I'll start with this one, and I'll call this blue underscore BTN. And I'll copy that underscore BTN because I'm going to put that on all the button names. Okay, so the next one will be blue stop. So maybe I should have copied the whole thing. Anyhow, blue underscore stop underscore BTN. I'll actually copy all of that and address the yellow set. So there's the yellow button. Highlight that, paste that name in, and change this blue stop to yellow. Okay. And then highlight the red button for stopping the yellow ball. We'll paste that in, and I'll call this yellow stop underscore BTN. So less typing is better for me. And now address the green buttons. So the green button will be green underscore BTN. And then finally the last one will be called green stop underscore BTN. So I'll replace that word blue with the word green. And there we go. Save my file. So now all of my buttons are in place. They're sized positioned, and they have an instance name attributed to them so that when I start to put some code in, I can call out to them. Okay, so let's now deal with the animation layer, and then for the last step we'll actually apply the code. So the animation layer is going to contain a movie clip. So I'll start by just drawing the blue ball. Okay, and I'll make it fair sized. There we go. Double click that. And right away I'm going to modify that to a movie clip, convert to symbol, movie clip. I'll just call it blue ball. Okay, so there's one. So now I need to go inside of this movie clip and animate the blue ball going back and forth. So I can double click on here. Again, I'm going to turn this blue ball into yet another movie clip. So modify, convert to symbol. I'll call this one moving blue ball. Okay. And this is the one I'm going to animate. So I'm going to go here, right click, create a motion tween. Go back to frame 1. Move the ball to the left side of the stage. Then go to frame, it looks like frame 24 here. And then move the ball to the right side of the stage. And that automatically creates a keyframe. And if I drag my playhead back and forth here, I can see that. Now, you know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to actually undo that keyframe. And I'm going to keyframe the last frame with the ball at the far left. And I'll explain why here, because I actually want it to go back and forth. So I should have keyframed that here. So I will control click on the PC, command click on the Mac to isolate the frame, then right click on it, insert keyframe all. Okay, now I'll go to the middle, and this is where I will move the ball to the right side of the stage. So I'm holding my shift key down to constrain it, but now this is the halfway point in my animation rather than the end point. So that means when I start, it goes there and then it goes back. Okay, that's all I need to do here. I'm going to save my file. Okay, so my first movie clip contains a movie clip of a blue ball going back and forth. So let me go inside of that blue ball movie clip, or rather to be specific, the moving blue ball movie clip. Double click that. And I'll draw another circle that's going to animate around that. So this one's going to need more than one layer, so I'll actually just call this blue ball. And I'll span that out to, let's say, 30 frames. So I'll go to frame 30 and hit F5. And then I'll create a new layer. And on this new layer, I'll actually name it yellow ball. And I'll draw a yellow ball, convert that to a movie clip, then rotate it around the blue ball. So I'll go to my oval tool. I'll change my color to a yellow. I'll draw a ball much smaller than the blue one. And I'll draw it down here so that I know the distance will not overlap the buttons. There we go. Double click on that. Highlight the whole thing. Convert that to a movie clip. Then we'll animate it. Modify, convert to symbol, movie clip. I'll call this moving yellow ball. Click OK. And at this point, I'm going to animate it going around the blue ball. So the first thing I will do is I'll go back to my frame 1. I'll highlight that first keyframe in yellow ball, and I'll go create motion tween. Okay, so now I've got a motion tween spanning the 30 frames. The next thing I want to do is I want to rotate this around the ball. So I need to move the center point of this movie clip to the middle of the ball so that that's the axis and this will go around. So we'll start by highlighting my free transform tool, which is the only way I can move that center point. Then grab that center point and try to bring it in the middle. Now if there's an issue with snapping, I'm just going to turn off my snapping here. Okay, and I'll try to position that with a bit more accuracy. In fact, I'm going to zoom in and drag that down. And that's pretty good right there, I think. There we go. And then I'll just go back to fit in window. At this point, I move my playhead to the last frame. Go to my properties, and where I see rotate, input 1. So that means 1 rotation. Then I hit my tab key to enter that, close my properties, and just drag my playhead back and forth to make sure it does the rotation. There we go, 1 complete rotation. Again, if I go over the frame and highlight properties, that's where I can do my rotation. I also have the ability to send it clockwise or counterclockwise. None actually sets it back to 0, so let me reconfigure that to a 1 clockwise, and there we go. So now I have an animation. Inside of the animation of the blue ball going back and forth, I have the yellow ball going around the blue ball. And it will be continuous. I'm not putting any stop commands in here, but I will save my file. Okay, and also notice at the top, again, that first movie clip is called blue ball. Inside of that is a movie clip called moving blue ball, and we're currently inside of that one where we have an animation of the yellow ball rotating around the blue ball. So now I'm going to double click on this movie clip and do an animation of the green ball going around it. I might ultimately move the whole thing up a bit because I think the green ball is going to overlap my buttons a little bit. Because it's all contained in one movie clip, it's so easy just to move the whole thing at once. So let me just drill down into here, double clicking that movie clip. Again, calling that layer yellow ball. Create a new layer above it, call it green ball. Okay, hit my enter key. And then on that green ball layer, actually draw a green ball. Smaller than the yellow ball and in between the two balls so that you know that it will not be overlapping. Again, if you need to zoom, zoom up. Oops, let me undo that. I meant to drag that over. Okay. And now with my shift key down, I can constrain that. Double click on the green ball. Make sure you highlight the fill as well as the stroke. Convert that to a movie clip. So modify. The reason I'm converting it is to a movie clip so that I can do that rotate feature. So convert to symbol, movie clip. Call this green ball. Actually, just to be consistent, I'll call it moving green ball. Okay, there we go. I'm going to save my file and carry on here. Okay, I'm going to go back to my view and set it to fit in window and create an animation over 30 frames here as well. So I'll just actually span these two out by selecting both frames and hitting F5 on my keyboard. Okay, I'll go back to frame 1 in green ball. I'll right click on it, create motion tween. Now, again, I'm going to zoom in here. I need to go and put the center point of the green ball inside of the yellow ball, not inside of the blue ball. So I'll go to my free transform tool, grab that center point, put it at the center of the yellow ball. There we go. Okay, again, I'm going to resize my view, fit in window, and create an animation here. So I'll go to the last frame with that layer selected. Go to my properties, set the rotate to 1. And again, I'll just drag my playhead to establish that that actually works, and it did. Okay. So I'm going to go back up to scene 1 for a second here. And I saw the green ball that, like I said, was overlapping the buttons. So it's very easy. I can just grab all of that and move it up. Now I have no control, but I'm going to save this and just do a test movie just to make sure the animation is okay. There we go. Okay, so let's do a test movie. Okay, I'm losing a bit at the top there, but I can also reduce that in size without consequence, so I'm going to do that. Bring it down here a bit and do another test movie. Okay, so it's not leaving my stage area anymore, and it's not overlapping the buttons either. So again, I'm just going to start to apply some instance names to my movie clips. So the top movie clip, I'll highlight that, go to my properties, I'll call it all_MC. Then I'll double click on there and highlight that movie clip, and we'll call it blueball_MC. And then I'll double click on that and I'll highlight this movie clip and I'll call it yellowball_MC. Now I don't need to do the green one because I'm not going to be going inside of the actual movie clip of the green ball. I'm just going to be controlling the green ball, which happens to be on the movie clip of inside yellow ball. Okay, so again, I'm going to save my file. And I think we're ready to apply some code. So I've got all my instance names for my buttons. I've got all my instance names for my nested movie clips. So let me go back up to scene 1. Go to my actions layer and highlight that. So I'll just address each button and apply the code. So we'll start with the blue button. Go to my code snippets, timeline navigation. Actually, I'll go to event handlers. Mouse click event. Double click that. It generates this code. There's my blue button, the add event listener that it attaches based on a mouse click, and executing this function. So let's go into that function and just replace that with a command all_MC, that's the movie clip, dot play with brackets and semicolon. Okay, I'll close my window here and I'll address the stop button. So highlight the stop button, code snippets, mouse click event, and change this to all_MC dot stop. So stop and play basically is what we're commanding to all the various timelines, and the only difference is what's going to come before that dot. So again, I'll close this, save this, and test it. If that worked correctly, when I hit the stop button, the blue ball will stop. The others will continue to move, but it will stop. And if I hit that start button, it should go back and forth again. So let's try that. Test movie. Test. Okay, so stop. There we go. And if I hit start, it should go again. Okay, so everything's working perfectly. We just need to finish the thought on the next two buttons, two sets of buttons. So there's my yellow one. Go to my code snippets, double click mouse click event, and I'm going to copy that command all_MC.play, save a little bit of typing, and this is my yellow button, remember. But remember, we're going down a level, so after all_MC I put another dot and I put blue ball_MC, because that's what I called that next level down's movie clip. And I'm going to copy that too, because I'm going to replace that with a stop command for the next button. So we copy that, highlight that stop button, go to my code snippets, double click mouse click event, replace this code, and I'll just change play to stop. So again, my yellow stop button is controlling the yellow ball, which happens to be inside of the movie clip called blue ball_MC. Let's stop that. Save that, sorry. And yeah, I might as well test it. To be prudent, I should test it at every stage. Okay, so if I stop the blue ball, stop the yellow ball, start the yellow ball, stop the yellow ball. Okay, start the blue ball, start the yellow ball. I have one left. Okay, so the green ball, highlight that button, go to my code snippets. Again, this is, one level even deeper. So here's my green button. I'm going to exchange that trace command with all underscore MC dot blue ball underscore MC dot yellow ball underscore MC, because the green ball is inside of that movie clip. And I will copy this whole line as well, because I'm going to basically apply that to the stop button. So stop button, code snippets, mouse click event, replace that filler code with the movie clip navigation all underscore MC dot blue ball underscore MC dot yellow ball underscore MC dot stop. So this should go down the 3 levels and stop the timeline. And that's the whole point here. Again, save my file, test my file. If I haven't made any mistakes, it should be done. Control, test movie. Okay, so I'll start with the blue ball, stop it, stop the yellow ball, stop the green ball. Start the green ball, stop. So just test it. And it looks like everything is working as I required. So I'm just going to stop that, and stop that. So that is how we control the timeline within nested movie clips. And I want you to create one of these for me today.